Nairobi and to the official residences, its diplomats working in Kenya pursuant to their specifications. The guards have had a history of protracted disputes with the management of the KK Security Services Limited over the aspects of union representation, recognition of their union, payment of overtime and commuter allowance dues, collective bargaining agreements, utilization of the guards' electrical monitoring systems, among many other issues. These disputes have led the guards to file numerous court cases at the Employment and Labor Relations Court, where the company is a party in all these cases, and most recent one being Employment and Labor Relations Court Petition number 49 of 2018. On the 26th of March 2013, Honorable Justice Rika, in course number 1449 of 2011, instituted by the guards via their union, delivered a ruling awarding them overtime and commuter allowance, among other awards. The management of KK Security Guards and the said union reviewed the award and came up with a collective bargaining agreement and adopted the overtime and commuter allowance as per the award in course 1449 of 2011. The company on December 5th, 2018 honored the judgment and paid commuter arrears totaling to an amount of 132,500 per guard. With the overtime arrears now pending, the guards engaged the management to give them a formula on how they are going to settle the pending overtime arrears. On 28th January 2019, a meeting was held between the management of the company and the guards, where a consensus was not reached on the payment formula, as the management was non-committal on paying the arrears, which is being withheld for ulterior motive and bad faith. The company, after the said meeting, opted to initiate disciplinary proceedings against the guards with the view of harassing and intimidating them in order to continue withholding their overtime arrears payment, amounting to a colossal sum of over 1 billion Kenya shillings. We have evidence that the federal government of the United States of America on 23rd January 2019 released US dollar 1.1 million to be paid to the guards, and yet the management has not effected the said payments yet, but have instead opted to summarily dismiss the guards. The laid down procedures as provided for in labor laws were not followed in dismissing the 358 guards, as the termination process was conducted hurriedly in order to quell the continuing quest by the guards in demanding for their dues. The consequences of the illegal and irregular dismissals is that there are now 350 families who have been left in cold as their source of livelihoods have been interrupted by the said decision. The US Embassy and all its diplomats working in Kenya are now at risk, as the dismissals have brought to a major halt the security arrangements, thus exposing them to security threats. We are now reliably informed that the management has resorted to deploy unvetted and untrained guards to replace the 300 plus guards who were specially trained and vetted, thus meeting the specifications and requirements of the United States Embassy. The decision also portrays bad publicity of the guards both locally and internationally. The guards have now opted to appeal the summary dismissal with the management, with the view of seeking reinstatement and payment of their overtime arrears. It is unfortunate that the top brass of the US Embassy, despite being fully aware of this injustice, has chosen to remain silent on the issue despite the security threats that the embassy and their diplomats are facing. We have issued this statement in order to bring to the attention of all stakeholders, government institutions, the international community, non-governmental organizations, and our elected representatives to come to our rescue to avert our illegal dismissal and infringement of our rights as security guards, employees of Kenya Kazi Security Services Limited. That is all. Signed by Charles Owero, Abednego Mutua, and Charles Oluoch. Thank you.
They look for petty allegations, they do away with workers through summary dismissal. I'm the chief shop steward who is also affected by the same. For those people, because the big issue it was that we moved from the former union, which is Kenya National Private Security Workers Union, that was the generic of this dispute. Then this former union, under the General Secretary Isaac Andabwa, they have a similar, a close relationship with the newly deployed MD in the company, whereby they are coming each and every time to have local meetings. They come out with those issues. They ought to do away with the former workers and have new workers in the system. But the matter already is before the court. On 13th also we'll have a hearing, a first mention here at Milimani Law Courts. That's case petition number 34. On 13th of this February, we will be here also for the same.
Okay, now, members of the press, we are actually appealing to all our elected leaders we have elected in parliament, chief government officers. We are even appealing to the president of this country to step into this matter and fuel this issue so that we get our long-deserved rights. We can no longer stay outside the United States Embassy, being a high-profile threat area, security area, waiting for Al-Shabaab to come and shoot us, and yet we are not getting our rightful pay of our overtime arrears. So we are pleading to the government to come in strong and solve this matter and assist us as citizens of this country, so that we can enjoy the sovereignty we are supposed to enjoy in our country. We are not, never again are we going to allow people to be coming in this country as businessmen, as investors, only to take advantage of the ignorance of poor Kenyans. That is totally unacceptable. Anybody else was something?
The release statement from our chief representative. We have a petition to our elected leaders in Parliament and to the Senate. We are aware that they're in the recess, but we are making an effort to reach all and sundry and make sure that justice is enhanced to the deserving Kenyans as enshrined in the preamble of our Constitution. Thank you very much. We know that you are also going to